Hey everybody, and welcome to the D&D podcast. Today, I wanted to make a video talking about cursed die. Now, I'm sure at some point in time, everyone who has played D&D has had an experience with cursed die, whether it was them, or someone they were playing with, or the DM themselves, who they always seem to roll really low or really high. For those who roll really high consistently, like 5 natural 20s in a row, and people are actually observing them and confirming this. I like to call them reverse cursed die. I myself have had a pair of cursed die before. They would consistently roll either 3, 5, 7, or 19, which was a weird outlier. But for the most part, they would tend to roll around the natural 1 area more than the natural 20 area. It was it was never really fun to play with those die. I do have a friend who has played the infamous Gongyogus Cliff Goat in the group. He, for a while, had some pretty cursed die. He would roll so many natural 1s and 2s that it was incredible. I felt so bad for him because of how often he rolled that. There was also a friend of mine who had a pair of reverse cursed die. He would roll natural 20 after natural 20 over and over again. We thought the die was weighted, and we would pick it up, examine it. We even did that trick where I believe you put. It's been a while since we've done this, but I believe you take a glass of water, you put some salt in it, then you put the die in it. And if it sinks, it's weighted, and if it floats. Oh, right, you push it down to the bottom. And you kind of, mess with it a little bit, make sure it's not on the same number. And then you let it go, and you repeat this a couple of times. If it tends to go on the same number over and over again, it's usually weighted. If it's a plastic die, there can be air bubbles in it causing one side to be heavier than another. Metal die aren't supposed to have that problem, but every now and then, sometimes they do because of the way they're crafted, especially handcrafted ones. I have the utmost respect for people that make their own dice, though if it's not done exactly how it should be, then one side will weigh a little bit more or less than another. But like I say, I have the highest respect for people that make dice by hand. My favorite pair is handmade, and it is actually perfectly non-weighted. I actually prefer to use those more than most of my other die because it just feels good in my hand. Anyway, I remember one time I got someone dice as a Christmas gift because she didn't have her own at the time, but she loved playing the game. And to this day, I regret not taking them for myself because she has never rolled below an 18 on a D20. Even the D4 would never go below a 3, the D8 would never go below a 7, and etc. The only thing that wouldn't get consistently was the D10 and the D100. Those were the luckiest die I have ever seen, and either she just knew how to roll real well, or those were just the best die ever made. Those are some of my experience with cursed die. I'm sure many of you out there have experience with that as well. It's pretty common to have, especially with plastic die. And like I said, there's always that trick to see if they're weighted, like not intentionally weighted by one of the players, but at some point during the manufacturing process, an air bubble got in and it became inadvertently weighted. But other stuff happens as well. For example, there was a player I had that did intentionally weigh their dice, and I told them that they couldn't use it anymore, and if they did, to please leave. Because it's not fair for the rest of us if you're cheating and everyone else has to have random chance. As it should be, just random chance. But dealing with players is a topic for a whole nother video. Dealing with players that, are cheating or fudging dice rolls, or, if the DM should fudge dice rolls, etc. That should be its own separate video. But I hope you enjoyed my Cursed Die video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. And until next time, roll well.